Very warm good evening to all. Today's topic is about public document. Section 74 of Indian Evidence Act. Exhaustively, I would say exhaustively, I will come to that why it is called exhaustively, though it's a very hardly 3 or 4 lines. But I would say exhaustively it describes what can be the public documents. Now, when it says what can be the public documents, if we go through the definition of the public documents as per the section, we'll find that it says that it is in two parts. First part says that any document which is a part of the sovereign authority, judicial authority, or legislative authority, or any official bodies of any tribunals, also of any election records, anything, whatever of executive as well, and it goes beyond our country, also of any foreign country. If it is a government office, then it will be a public document. Now there are 2-3 parts to it. Then the second part is very important. That is public records kept of the private records. And now this is very difficult and I would say easy also to understand. Public records kept of the private records. Now it can be a private record of a marriage also. See, marriage is a private affair between two parties. But when you go to the registration of the marriage office before the marriage officer, then again it becomes whatever entry is there in the register, it will be a public record. Whenever there is a bigamy in the criminal matter and the record is brought before the court, then it is no more a private record, it is a public record. There are some very good judgments on the public records also, which we will discuss as the session progress. Now, when we speak about the public records, what can be public records? There are so many examples. Easiest example I can give, the first information report is the FIR, election records, birth and death registration, birth certificate, death certificate. Then bank records of the nationalized bank. There are some exception to that, but bank records of nationalized bank is also a public record. Then civil courts order. Criminal court, there are some exception as POCSO we can see in rape matters. We are not allowed to look into the names of the people unless and until there is a interest or there is we have to file an affidavit if at all we want that record by whether we are affected or interested party in such kind of matters. Then publication in the official gazette, when we change the religion or our names, then you know that there is an official gazette, we declare our names, name change or religion change. Then for company matters, memorandum of article. Now memorandum of articles is something which is a affair of a private company, but when it is recorded with register of company, that is with ROC, then again it becomes a public record. Then marriage, I said, though it's a private affair, again it will be a public record. Deposition of witnesses before the court, any statement recorded by the police under section 161 CRPC, also 164 CRPC. So the complete charge sheet filed before the court is a public record. You can have access to that. Also, there is a one judgment I read where they said Panchanama is not a public record. The reason is given in the judgment that Panchanama is recorded by the police officer calling two people independently, and he just do the Panchanama there, just find out if it is a spot Panchanama, what are things lying there. So it will not be though when it become a charge sheet, it become a public record, but a single page of Panchanama, if you go to police station and ask for the record of the same, it will not be a public record. That is what one judgment came in my research knowledge. Now, so many election records, so you name a thing of the government and it is a public record. And public record is the easiest thing to be produced before the court. Now, do you have access to all the public records? The reason behind that, there is a RTI Act where some of the things are refused and sometime it is allowed. If it is in the public interest, it is allowed. If it is a private affair, it is not allowed. See, RTI is not completely related. Public documents is a much wider concept or much wider term than the things which come under RTI. RTI is normally used to find out actually what has gone wrong or what is the numbers. Uh, it may be cases pending before the court. It may be the deaths because of the pandemic from the public record. It is allowed sometime, it is refused sometime in the best interest of the state, that is the state government or the central government. Now, when we call, say, public records, do you get the death certificate register or the marriage certificate register? Actually, the court, no. You will only given the extract of the same. The rule behind that there is a certified copy issued by that, and this certified copy is equivalent to the actual public document which is in the court record. The reason behind not giving the original copy, which is the public document, that it is going to be used for a number of years. Maybe if it is a say a living certificate is not a public document, but let me tell you, I have once asked the school principal that how long you keep the public record of the or the record of the living certificate. The principal told me that it is for 50 years. They do not destroy the any admission register of any student. So if at all he comes after some years also, then we can give the living certificates. So it's a private document. Then also sometime it is called before in POCSO cases to find out what is the age of the actual that minor, maybe victim or maybe the accused person, or if he's a juvenile. Now, these public documents, whenever certified copies is produced before the court, it can be led led in the evidence. Normally, whenever we lead the evidence, the other side, that is our opponent, will always tell us that you cannot lead the evidence. But public documents, actually, whenever you produce a certified copy, it says that you can actually lead the evidence because the contents of the same are actually, unless and until there is some reason behind it, there is some dispute about it, it is actually proved documents. So public documents are mostly proven documents. So even if you produce certified copy, they are accepted with much ease in the court of law. Now, with these certified copies, when they are produced before the court, it is not that you can simply give it to and prove the same. The contents of the same has to be read by that by the person who is producing the same. That's it has been produced by the proper channel. So whenever you produce a certified copy, you should always produce the receipt of the certified copies. If you fail to produce the receipt of the certified because from it is obtained, then the other side may take an objection. Also, whenever you produce a certified copy, you will always see that below the certified copy, there is a seal of that, if it is from the court record, seal of the court, and there will be a stamp of the public officer who has given you. It may be from the court judicial clerk, it may be from BMC, death and who records the death and the birth of the people here. So that record will be also, that person who has issued has to sign it, put a seal on, put a date on it, and the legal fees charged for the same. So that is the way that you are producing properly the legal copy or certified copy from the proper channel, proper record. And if there is no stamp, then court may refuse to accept. Recently, we were filing a appeal in the domestic violence case under section 29. There was no seal of the court on the summons. The court clerk in the session court Dindoshi refused to accept it because there was no seal. So summons, warrant are also the public documents, but if there is no seal, then it may not accept the person before whom we are producing the same. Now, in the case of bigamy, this marriage certificate will become a public document if you produce it from the proper record. So always remember that these marriage documents are also public record, though it's a private affair. I'm repeating this because mostly whenever a marriage certificate is requested, they are saying it is not a public, it's a private affair, but then you have to give a good reason why you want certain certificate. Now we go to another part where we can see some few judgments which are very important. The first judgment is on the sell deed. It is a very famous judgment from the Madhya Pradesh High Court. Rekha Rana versus Ratnashri Jain. Now we all buy homes and we register the sale deed. Now sale deed is always we go and record or we register before the public offices, that is registrar or sub registrar. And when we register it there, we always say it's a public document. But according to this judgment and also the common understanding that this sale deed is original copy, and this original copy is returned to you, and they will be only recording that this property XYZ is sold from A to B. So the sale deed is always with the buyer who buys the property. So always remember, sale deed cannot be a public document, but the entry in the register of sub registrar is a public document. So there is a possibility in a case or in a situation where you don't have the original sale deed and you want to dispute that, and the person who is having is not ready to produce or you do not have access, you can always get a copy from the sub register office and it become a certified copy of the original. But then secondly, this is again we would say that it's a certified copy is of the only a copy of the originals. So original will always be with the buyer, but it will again we though we call it's a private document, the entry before the sub registrar which you are producing going to produce before the court will be a public document. So that will suffice your in your case that to say that this is a public document, and according to this public document this property XYZ is sold by A to B. So it will be easier for you to prove in the property matter also. This judgment of the Rekha Rana versus Ratnashri Jain is also discussed in one of my another video, that is primary and secondary documents. Now primary and secondary documents is also very important. When we say any document which is not a public document is a private document. Now private document is a let's say it's a sale deed, it's a private document, so original is with me. If I produce the certified copy of the same, then it will be again from which channel you are producing. If you are producing a true copy by notary, then it's just a primary evidence, I would say, because sale copy, unless and until you produce before the court, it will not be an original document. So if you are producing from the it's a true copy. If you are a notarized copy of, if you are producing before the court, and if you are producing from the sub registrar office, then it becomes a certified copy of the original. But that entry will only that entry will be called. You cannot have the complete original copy, which is actually a property of the buyer in a private document. Now, secondary evidence will be in a case where you are unable to produce the original copy. When you are unable to produce the original copy, then you are because of some reason you are applying for the secondary copy. So whenever you are applying for the second, whenever you are producing a photocopy or some true copy, it will be a secondary evidence. In one of the MSCT matters, we did not have the original medical papers. Somehow the client lost it, but we produced the photocopy of the same and we called the medical officer to prove the same that these are their own documents. So though it is a secondary document, they were proved by the person whose actually hospital's document they were, like this. Now if you read this judgment, you will also have a knowledge about the primary and secondary evidence also. One very recent judgment of the Bombay High Court, Sushil Kumar Madanlal Ganediwala versus Vijay Kumar. This is a dispute between two brothers. When this matter came before Justice Manish Pitre, there was an opinion sought. It's a civil dispute where between the two brothers, where the bailiff has given a report and there was an ex parte order, there was service of summons. But another party was saying the bailiff report is not a public document. So the bailiff has to be examined before the court. The matter went to Bombay High Court. Justice Manish Pitre has given a very beautiful judgment. And as per this judgment, when you go through it, the bailiff is a person who goes to the uh, place where he has to give the maybe it may be a decree, it may be a summons, it may be a notice. So he just gives his opinion, that person is available, that person is accepted, that person has refused. Now in these cases, when this bailiff's report comes before the court, the summons or the notice would always be the, because it is bearing the court seal, it will always be a public document. The report of the summons will not be a public document. It's a private document. It's an opinion of the bailiff. So if you ever have to prove that bailiff report, then you have to examine that bailiff and it has to be properly cross-examined. So this is one judgment which again clears that even if the bailiff report is a private document, but a bailiff goes to serve the summons notices will be a public document. See, there is a very thin line to understand all this. Now, next judgment we goes to Sunita Sahni versus Union of India 2015. This is again a very interesting judgment. Now, here what happened? Sunita Sahni made a, before Delhi High Court, applied for, she has actually before passport office applied for a change of her date of birth as per the birth registration. Many of us know that a few years ago, there was no need to produce the birth certificate for having the passport. Now they are requesting at least two documents where your date of birth is mentioned. Now here she was not having birth certificate, and later on when she got a birth certificate, she wanted to correct her date of birth, but passport officer did not do it. So the matter came before the Delhi High Court by way of writ petition. When she preferred writ petition, she said that the birth certificate will supersede all the previous documents, whatever her date of birth. So it was the Delhi High Court has said that it has to be corrected, and birth certificate is is a public document. It will supersede all the documents. Now let's read this para 12 of this judgment. The case is Sunita Sahni versus Union of India. Section 74 of Indian Evidence Act 1872 prescribes that documents forming the acts or records of the acts of the sovereign authority, official bodies and tribunals, and of public offices, legislative and judicial and executive of India, and public records kept of private documents are public documents. As distinct therefrom, all other documents under section 75 are private documents. The difference between public and private documents in the matter of evidence is in the matter of proof thereof. The public officer having the custody of public documents are by section 76 of Evidence Act required to, on demand, furnish certified copy thereof, and section 77 provide that such certified copies may be produced in proof of the contents of the public documents of which they purport to be certified copies. As distinct therefrom, the private documents have to be proved by producing original thereof. Now, this judgment clearly says that